Oh, he had a lot to say. He couldn't wait to vent. He was telling 50 how the nigga Jim Jones arm rent.
Battle Fab and Banks in a battle like we do it, right?
Right.
Who you got?
Space.
Fab or Banks. You know what I'm saying? In a battle like we do it. Hey, this is.
That's one of my favorite rappers of all time. So.
Fab got him. I'm telling you, bro.
Money in the bank. I'm saying what I want.
I talked to these two gentlemen too.
Uncle Murda is going full throttle on his 2025 wrap-up, and man, he's throwing shots everywhere. Jim Jones, Mayo, they're front and center in his disses, with slick lines and subtle clowns in their situations. Even teases at a future 50 Cent collabo have people watching close, because this feels calculated, not random. Here's the question: is Murda warming things up for a bigger G-Unit move? Or is this just the pregame before the real heat drops on the Let's Rap About It podcast? Meanwhile, the 50's got something cooking behind the scenes, but we're not seeing it yet. Timing here is everything. The interesting part? Some people barely got touched. Fabulous gets a light mention for talking slick, no real shots. Dave East, not a word. And Murda hints if 50 drops a new track, he might hop on it too, quietly saving that surprise, which makes the whole situation even juicier. Earlier, I mentioned 50 might have been on this wrap-up, but nope, and it makes sense. If 50 had actually shown up, things would have gone nuclear instantly. Still, 2026 is here, and 50 already said a response is locked. While he's cooking behind closed doors, Murda didn't wait. He went straight in, right at Jim Jones. Zero hesitation. A lot of this energy ties back to Tony Yo, especially with upcoming podcasts. Jim got every bit of that disrespect. And just when you thought the jabs were done, Murda swings at the Let's Rap About It podcast, zooming in on Mayo, the first to clap back after 50 called them squatters, bringing up unpaid rent claims tied to the podcast building.
Jim Jones told Joe and Jay that he better than Nas, said he had more Billboard entries than Nas too. The lie detector test determined that was not true.
Mayo even hinted he'd buy the place if the money didn't get handled. Jim ended up paying, which only made it messier. Murda made sure everyone knew. He put that part on blast. Hit that hype button because this is a key moment.
You said my nigga Yayo broke, he not though. I was just with him eating smoked duck in Morocco.
Listen closely. These were mostly light jabs at Mayo. Fabulous? Barely touched. Dave East? Not mentioned at all. The focus stayed squarely on Jim Jones and Mayo, and now Mayo's clearly reacting. Murda even spelled out what he'd do if 50 jumps in. Right now, Murda's popping, no doubt, but let's keep it real. It wasn't earth-shattering. Calm, controlled, calculated. Solid wrap-up.
We called them niggas squatters and Maino got mad about it. Maino put a curly hair picture of 50 up, then the nigga Jim Jones landlord called 50 up.
Different style for Murda, but it landed. Best ever? Not really. Clean, focused, effective. Those small jabs feel like a setup. Murda's warming everyone up for something bigger from 50. New year, new energy, and 50 doesn't stay quiet long. He's not the type to let this slide.
They put a freestyle out on 4 of them. Fab shit was slick, but right now 50 ignoring them. If he do respond, I might be on that song with him. Tell the engineer to punch me in when he done recording.
The big question, how will 50 respond? Nobody knows. Some say he's scared or won't touch it. Others think he might bring back that OG G-Unit energy. Speculation is wild. Podcast could even get switched up or shut down. Fair? Debatable. Fans want old school callouts, but the early 2000s aren't here anymore. 50 isn't obligated. He doesn't have to do a thing. That's facts. Still, 50's petty enough to jump in if the vibe hits. Lately, he hasn't been chasing Billboard or radio. He's behind the scenes, recording for shows, movies, soundtracks. A different lane, but keeps him active. Will he go full demon time or let it slide? That's what everyone's waiting for. Forget rumors about a ghetto Fab moment. Not buying it. Fact, 50 makes noise on his own time in his own way. Never scared. And brand-wise, massive. If he doesn't respond, not a loss. Most people will forget this in months. The diss talk fades if 50 stays silent. If he reacts and the internet isn't impressed, could spin as a loss. But 50 has leverage, influence, attention, power. Vegas picked 50 for New Year's Eve. Not Fabulous, Jim, Maino, or Dave East. That tells you everything. 50 Cent stays relevant, dominant, and streaming charts prove it. Most streamed NY artist for 3 years straight. Name, brand, celebrity keeps growing. That's leverage. Will he respond? Maybe. Murda's low-key saying, if 50 jumps in, I'm right there. Could we get a new G-Unit style track? 50, Murda, maybe Tony Yayo? Enough to shut things down? Depends. Bars, energy, timing. Modern G-Unit vibes? No Young Buck, no Lloyd Banks, just a new wave. Right now it feels like the quiet before the storm. 50's watching, letting everyone talk themselves into corners. Noise doesn't matter until he decides. Murda's ready. The rest can talk, react, debate, but moves only happen if 50 moves. Waiting game now. Will 50 let it fade or step in and flip the board? Either way, all eyes are on him. Could this lineup stop Jim, Fabulous, and the podcast crew? Hard to say. The bigger question, how do you think 50 will respond based on Murda's moves? Could something wild drop this week? Time's ticking. One headline and it could all get buried. Drop your thoughts in the comments. And gang, do me a favor. Subscribe to Drip Zen, like, share, comment, hit that hype button. Free helps the channel grow heavy, and I appreciate every single one of y'all tapping in.